There's this law that's being debated in the EU. I can't remember if it's called like
Article 13.
Article 13.
13. You can tell, you can remember it because it's the 13. Easy to remember.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, what this Article 13, what this 13th article provides for is if you are a website and you are hosting copyrighted content, you can be sued for hosting that copyrighted content. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get sued.
So
yeah.
So for example, somebody uploads a TV show, a movie to YouTube, and YouTube got caught with that TV show on their servers distributing it. Rather than the person who uploaded the video being in trouble, YouTube's now in trouble, and they can get sued for that.
It's like having a dumpster that says no bodies, and then you put a body in there, and the dumpster company is like, oh fuck,
and they get in trouble.
They get in trouble.
So currently in America,
that's a bad thing. That's like no, and hold on, let's make a better analogy. It's like having a pizza shop. No, it's like having.
Just
okay, all right.
No analogy needed. Proceed. So right now the way copyright works is that you have to file a complaint, and then the website must take down the item that you filed a complaint against. You can't just sue them outright for having that item on there. So for example, somebody re-uploads one of our videos on Facebook, happens all the time. We have to say, hey, Facebook, please take it down. And then Facebook takes it down, and that's the end of it. We can't sue them. They're not in trouble. They just take it down, and that's that.
Yeah.
So the EU is passing a law that's supposedly going to make these websites responsible for that content.
Yeah, they're accountable for not having like copyright infringements on it, because I think it's pushing the blame it's pushing the responsibility from the content creator, the copyright holder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Onto the person hosting the content. Now,
yeah.
YouTube is super against Article 13. They're so against it that I actually got an email from the CEO of YouTube sent out to all YouTubers, so you probably got it too, saying, hey, please tell people not to vote for Article 13 because it's going to totally ruin us.
Obviously they're against it because they're going to be in the crosshairs.
Yeah. Now, part of me sees how that's a bad idea. I can see how YouTube gets so much video uploaded to them, like they are going to be screwed if they have to deal with that. But the other part of me, that has had my videos uploaded on Facebook over and over and over, and Facebook is making dollar after dollar in ad sales against those videos, and all that happens when we catch them on it, even with videos with 40 million views that have been like pirated from us. And they go, oops, sorry, yeah, we'll take it down.
Yeah, sure, we'll deal with that.
And but they've made thousands of dollars off of it, and we don't see any of it. Part of me wants to watch the world burn.
Yeah, part of me does too. Because I mean, I've seen stuff too, like not going to provide references, but second, third hand, fourth hand. Like even apparently there's been someone at Twitch accidentally just casually said something about how they wouldn't shut down your stream if you're streaming copywritten movies as long as you don't save the video later. As long as it's there and you're not saving it to your channel. And so there are like, you have to find URLs. Obviously, you're not going to just like be able to just search it, or it's not appearing on Twitch's, trending page. But apparently, there's tons of them out there. It's just it's like movie night where it's just like streaming anything, TV shows, copywritten content, whatever. And Twitch is just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Just don't worry about it. We're not like, you're just, streaming Game of Thrones, and like we're just like until someone from HBO tells us we're not going to do anything about it. And it's because it makes them money.
Yeah,
they're making money off of it. I mean, that's the thing. Article 13 goes against their own self-interests. Now you have to ask yourself, does that go against your self-interests?
A little bit, but yes and no. Like, I'm not in the business of ripping off other people's content.
Oh, really?
I see where you're going with that.
Oh, really?
Because we do make fan films.
Oh, we making a Dark Souls video tomorrow, bitch.
But I'm not doing react videos where I take somebody else's video, play it the whole entirety of the video.
You're totally right. Actually, what we're doing is, if we just scrub the Mario logos from some of the hats, a lot of the stuff is protected under parody law. But that's the distinction.
Yeah, that's the distinction. Because this is what I tell people when they say, like, aren't you going to get in trouble for making a video with like a video game character in it? It's like, yeah, maybe. And if they don't want us to do it, we'll take it down. But I'm not making a video with another TV show's character in it or another movie's character in it.
Yeah, I'm not like taking someone's work and redoing it. It's more of like I'm taking someone's idea. Obviously, ideas are work.
Yes.
It's closer to saying.
I mean, let's be real. It is kind of a form of like copyright borrowing.
It is, but it's a form of copyright borrowing / infringement in the sense that someone invents a challenge that involves a watermelon, the watermelon challenge, and we do the watermelon challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we are infringing on their water. It's like we're infringing on the watermelon challenge now, in the sense that we took the idea of taking a watermelon and doing this special thing with it. It's like it's closer to that.
The watermelon challenge.
But you know
what could the watermelon challenge possibly be?
You see what I'm getting at? It's like the idea of something, and we are taking that idea and then building off of it.
I think it's more like this. If we were doing we like Dark Souls, we're playing Dark Souls. If we went out and made a fan Dark Souls game, yeah, shut us down. But there's no Dark Souls show.
Well, yeah,
it's not like when you make a video that you're directly competing with what the company makes.
You're right.
Like that's why somebody was making like a Halo RTS back in the day, and they got shut down.
I can imagine. Yeah,
because they're making a video game that's going to directly compete with Halo.
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
in the same.
We can't just go out there and make a Game of Thrones fan film and spend a bunch of money on it.
Okay, can you make a Game of Thrones board game? Obviously, no.
Here's the thing. You can make a Game of Thrones rule set. Yes.
What does that mean?
Like you could make a D&D campaign for Game of Thrones, and you could post the campaign online for people to play, or you could invent.
What if I call it Game of Thrones?
That's fine. If you're not making money off it, if you're like, guys, I came up with an idea. This is a board game. You can make it yourself. You have to draw the board. You have to come up with the pieces, and here's the rules. Make it yourself. But I had this idea.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
That's what I'm getting.
It's regardless of its legality.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's going to come after you.
Yeah,
for that.
Well, I don't think they could, because that's in the realm of like freedom of expression.
But what if the idea is so good? It's like, dude, have you played Niko's Game of Thrones board game idea? And everyone's like, yeah, it's sweeping the nation. It's the first open source board game, and it's based on Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones is like, oh crap, oops.
They can shut down anybody trying to print the board, and they can shut down anybody trying to like use their copyrighted art.
Well,
but
what if it's a PDF?
Well, here's the reality:
can they delete it? When
you create art, part of you is giving that art away.
Yeah.
When you create something that's part of popular culture, it is no longer yours; it's part of cultures. This is one of the things that pisses me off.
That's the noble opinion. I don't think it's the legal one. It
may not be the legal one, but it doesn't really quite matter, because at a certain point, the popular opinion trumps the legal one, which is to say, this is kind of what bugs me about Star Wars currently under Disney, but Luke Skywalker doesn't belong to Disney. Luke Skywalker belongs to every person.
That's what your heart tells you.
Star Wars. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But what does your mind tell you?
It's become part of lore. Now,
mine tells you that Disney gets to own Luke Skywalker until like the year 2200.
Disney's the only one who gets to profit off of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. But if my kid wants to dress up and pretend he's Luke Skywalker, Disney can't come in and shut that down.
I guess that's true. Well, he's buying the costume, so.
But I do think it's important, and as we come up against Mickey Mouse's retirement here into public domain, and Disney probably tries to extend it again. First off, look, Congress, just give Disney an exception for Mickey Mouse specifically. Come on.
No
quit extending.
No precedents.
No. For that one guy who's still a mascot of the company, I get it. Just make a single exception for that character, but beyond that, all works become public domain. Come on. Secondly, you're screwing it up for the rest of us. Secondly, I think it's super important that stuff becomes public domain. When something's become part of culture, you need to acknowledge that it becomes part of culture and it's no longer yours. You lose a certain amount of control over it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's going back to this Article 13 thing. Let's
Wait, can I wrap it up real quick with our perspective on it? So you were saying like, hey, we rip off all these video games and make videos about them, and you're right.
Okay.
And somebody else made a Dubstep Guns 2. We made a Dubstep Guns 1, and somebody else made a Dubstep Guns 2.
And they are directly competing in our space.
You know what? And we let it happen because 1, they put a ton of work into it. 2, it's good. And 3, you know what? They're not just ripping our video and re-uploading it. That's one thing. That's stealing our work. But this is them like taking that idea and telling more of a story. They're doing exactly what I was saying, which is once the idea is out there, it kind of belongs to everybody, and they told more of that story. And we could have still made Dubstep Guns too.
Yeah, well, it's because we're super chill. But you look at Apple or Google, they are not chill.
Well, maybe they should chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So back to Article 13.
I don't know. Well,
do you want to watch the world burn or what?
Yes, but the problem is that okay, ultimately, like backing up for a second, whose livelihood does it truly affect? You know, the problem is that it creates a rule set that is very hard to enforce when you deal with parody and these shades of gray here. You know, like
we would definitely get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless of whether or not every single video we had was always 100%.
That Google
original.
algorithm would like go nuts. It would like go into beast mode. It would fully it would start scanning every frame, and it sees one Mario M, and it's like offline. You know, it's like, and it sees an Acura logo on a car. Copyright detected. You know. Yeah. And it just goes, it'll go nuts.
But maybe that's a bit of the inspiration people need to realize that copyright laws might need to be reworked.
Yeah,
well, people take the path of least resistance. Yeah, sometimes you have to have things be a bit painful for people to get motivated to do something about it.
Well, I mean, this is the problem though with this space we're entering, where it's like ideas and content and like these, like ideas become relatively tangible so quickly, and they're so, you know, they multiply very quickly with YouTube, especially when creating derivative content. You know, someone makes a meme or makes a video, and then millions of people rip it and react to it and re-upload it. And so it's kind of like, well, it's kind of part of the culture in a sense that like copyright is meaningless.
Yeah.
You know? And so I guess that kind of goes back to what you're saying. Copyright's meaningless. You make something and it's public. You know, obviously you put up as many barriers as you can so that at least you don't go bankrupt.
Yeah. I think here's the distinction. Copyright on your work is not meaningless. Like if I painted a picture, you don't get to just take that picture. Like, that's my painting. I made it. If you like what I painted, you're like, boy, that's a really cool painting of a dinosaur. I want to make a painting of a dinosaur. That's where you should be able to make as many paintings of dinosaurs as you want. You just don't get to take my painting without my permission.
Unless we have a time machine.